Well, last night's NXT was, I'll say, very good. Was it better than last week's? No, but I think everybody on the show did an amazing job, and I feel like everybody. Yeah, it was some matches that I liked that showed me something with everyone. Yeah, I liked the tag match. I liked the main event. I liked the match with Naraku. The Fatal Four Way. And speaking of the Fatal Four Way, I gotta speak of something. Okay, so when the show had started, the NXT Tag Team Championship match was starting, and they had came up and said, because I didn't know this happened. Like when I found out this when I was watching the show, and that was that Zarya didn't have no opponent to face to defend her title because Layla Diaz got injured over the weekend at a live event, and I was like, what? Like that was shocking. I mean, it was like that was crazy because I was like, what? Like that don't make sense. I'm like, dang man, that's so unfortunate because Layla had won that match, that Fatal Four Way match last Tuesday, fair and square, and just to find out that she got injured, just to get, and I was like, wow. So I wonder who's gonna be our opponent tonight, and we're gonna dig into that. I'm gonna dig into that way later on, but but yeah, man, like prayers up to Layla Diaz, and I hope for her to have a speedy recovery and stuff because that was just wild to find out, and I hope she get better because she very well deserved that to have that title match against Zarya, but it just is what it is. It's the wrestling business. Yeah, but on to the NXT Tag Team Championship match between Vanity Project versus John Legacy and Don Vox. Like, I liked this match. Like, I feel like this is a great match. It started to pick up when it was getting to the end, starting to pick up like a lot of back and forth, people flying, stuff, a lot of intensity and things. But then it's like when it got to the end, and when Vanity Project was getting deep into the waters because Legacy and Vaughn and Vox was starting to was so close, like they were so close to beating them. See, this is why this is great as a heel tag team to have, or a heel faction to have accomplices, because they help you win and things, but they end up helping Vanity Project win. Um, the outside interference, I mean, it's a help Vanity Project retain their titles and stuff at the end. And I'm wondering what's next for Vanity Project. Who would step up and who would try to beat these guys? Because shoot, I'm thinking it will be Noam Dar and his other tag team partner. I don't know who his tag team partner is, but I feel like they might be up next because they've been trying to get at them tag titles. But or maybe it's a different team. I don't know, but who y'all think gonna stop these dudes? I don't know, cause I really don't know who gonna be their next opponents. Maybe OTM, probably. I don't. Yeah, I just don't know right now. But yeah, that was a cool like 8 out of 10 match. I say like started to pick up when it got to the end. But yeah, on to the next segment. Cut to a backstage segment in Robert Stone's office with Izzy Dame and Lizzie Rain going back and forth with each other, and then that's when Natty and her crew come in the office, and Natty says that even though Layla had got injured and couldn't get her opportunity that she rightfully deserved, she said she still feel like somebody in her group that deserves a shot at Zarya and stuff, and that's when everybody in the room start going back and forth arguing, and then Robert Stone had enough and said, you know what? He said, Izzy, Lizzie, Nikita, all facing Zarya for the North American Championship. So he turned it into a fatal four way, which I thought was going to be a one-on-one match for the belt, but he ended up turning it into a fatal four way. And I was like, okay. And then that's well, now we can look forward to that later on in the night. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. Then we have certain segments throughout the night where Saquon Sugars is looking for some tag partners to face Dart State next Tuesday, and he's struggling to find some tag partners throughout the night. Because everybody feel like that they can't trust him or anything like that because he was with Dart State until he finds Noam Dar and Romeo, and he gets to talk them into, like, he talks Romeo into joining, and Romeo tells Noam that this could be great for them because they can end up getting the tag titles and stuff because they've been trying to get a tag title shot. So they agreed to pair with him, and next week it would be Saquon, Noam, and Romeo versus Dart State, and I'm gonna be looking forward to that next week, Tuesday. Zarya retains her NXT North American Championship in a fatal four-way match between her, Nikita, Izzy, and Lizzie Rain. Even though it was interference in the match later on with Natty trying to come and help Nikita, Jada Parker came and to stop the interference and everything, and that's when Nikita had got Zarya in the ring, and that's when Zarya had hit Nikita with the F5 later on and ended up retaining her belt. I give this match like a 9 out of 10. It was a great match between all these four women. Like, Zarya was fighting to kick her title and things, and Natty tried to interfere to try to help Nikita become double champion, but that didn't end up happening, and Zarya ended up retaining. Now I want to know what's next for Zarya now after she just defeated all three of these women. Um, maybe an opponent to build her up next, like for her for Heatwave. Maybe they'll have Rena Valkon versus Zarya. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward what's next for Zarya. So yeah, and Naraku and Tony D'Angelo still fighting and feuding still. At first, it was just going to be an NXT Championship match for next Tuesday, but because they were backstage, no, they was out in the parking lot brawling. Robert Stone said it would be now a street fight for the championship next Tuesday, so I would be now looking forward to that. Also, Natty versus Jada Parker is next Tuesday too. That's official. I would be looking forward to that because they still. It was even a segment where Jada was like talking to Callie Armstrong before her match, and Natty and Nikita and them just start attacking Jada and just be stomping her down and all that, and then they put up the board and said that Jada versus Natty for next Tuesday. So will Jada get her revenge from the last match, or will Natty come out again on top? We'll have to see next Tuesday. I don't know about y'all guys, but man, Rena Valcon, I'm ready for her debut next week, man. Bro, like her video package has been intense. She been she's her promo's been intense, all that. I'm like, and I feel bad for Skylar Ray next week, man, cause she about to get destroyed, man. Yo, like I'm ready. I'm ready for this debut. Like I feel like it's gonna be great, and I feel like, shoot, man, imagine her versus Zarya. Imagine if they start her out in the mid card and she go after Zarya's belt, man. Or like I said last week, they could end up having shooting her up to the NXT Women's Championship scene like that fast, and you like what's going on? And then now by the time you know it, in the blink of an eye, she holding the NXT Women's Championship. So hey, I'm ready for her debut next week. But yeah, Skylar Ray, she gonna be in trouble. But anyway, tell me how y'all feel about Rena Valcon video package, because I feel like it was great. Her two ones that they showed last Tuesday and this past Tuesday, I really enjoyed, and I feel like her debut about to be something crazy next Tuesday. But anyways, yeah, I'm ready. Now we have the main event, which was the triple threat NXT Women's Championship number one contender match with Lola, Callie, and Kalani to see who will face Kendall Gray next Tuesday. Or no, not next Tuesday, but like whenever they set the match up, who to face Kendall whenever they do it. But this is a great, cool match. It was instances in the match where Kalani was like close to like winning, like it was a part where like she was pinning on Kylie, and the ref like was about to count three. Like he was like close to counting three, and he didn't count three, and like everybody like what's going on? And I was confused. I'm like, dang, is they robbing Kalani? I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like Kalani got robbed? Because it was two instances. I just named the first instance where it looked like she was going to win, but the ref ended up not counting the three. Then when Kalani went and hit the 450 splash, Lola comes and kicks the mess out of her and made her go falling out the ring. And then she takes advantage of the cover that Kalani tried to cover on Callie. So Lola ended up covering Callie, and she ends up winning the match. So now it would be Lola versus Kendall for the NXT Women's Championship in a rematch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that Lola and Kendall match. But I'm like, do y'all feel like Kalani got robbed or something like that? Like, is it? And it don't really make any sense that the many times that Kalani been on this roster that she hasn't never got a shot at the NXT Women's Championship. And that's why I said when they had did her versus Kendall to see who would face Lola at GEB, they should have went with Kalani, because Kalani, it's been a long time coming since she has gotten an NXT Women's Championship match. So man, shoot, I don't know what's going on with that, with her, with Kalani and management. But other than that, I'm happy for Lola getting another shot. I don't even feel like they should have took the belt off Lola. But hey, here we are, and they got Kendall as the champion. But I'm cool with it though. It's just that I feel like Lola's reign should have been longer than what it was. But at least she had a chance to become champion. But anyway, like I said before, yeah, I'm looking forward to that Lola versus Kendall match whenever they set that match up. And yeah, like I said, this NXT was like an 8 out of 10. Hopefully next Tuesday's NXT even better than this one. I'm looking forward to that, and I wonder how y'all feel, and if y'all looking forward to it. Too, like how y'all feel about this past Tuesday's NXT. Yeah. But anyways, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and stopping by and watching my content. I appreciate all 49 of y'all, and I'm out. Peace.